Hello everyone, welcome to the Makri Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I'm going to continue with your same module, that is the procedural programming module. In the last class we have started or we have covered some topics of the chapter number 18, that is graphics under Windows or C under Windows. That is how to use the graphics under the Windows. In this we have discussed multiple things, that is how to draw the shapes, what are the types of pens, what are the types of brushes that is available in Windows programming, that is available in C programming under Windows. Now today I'm going to continue with your same chapter, that is what are the types of brushes available, what are the types of code resources. That is the topic, that is how to use the code and how to use the resources. So first of all, let's take quick review what we have covered in the last class, then move to the next part, that is the types of pens. What are the types of pens that is available in this? So let's start with the previous session. In the previous session, we have talked about types of pens. So everything is same about the above program, that is a full-fledged program. The only difference is that the onPaint function is different. That is the onPaint function that deals with or that is used to make to display the pens that is available on the screen. That is the onPaint function. So everything is same, but the onPaint function is different. We have discussed what is the use of onPaint function and how we are able to display or how we are able to show different types of pens like brush, dot, dash, dot. There are multiple parts that we have covered in this chapter, and the main thing is that the onPaint function is used for displaying the different pens, and this can be done by using the create pen. This is the create pen. This is the create pen, this is select object. So these are the various topics, these are the various examples that we have discussed in the last class. So we have started with onPaint function. These are the variable declaration, that is variables are declared over here. Then there is a function, that function name is begin paint. So this is a function that is used for begin the painting, and that has various arguments like hwnd and %ps. First one is a one variable, that is hwnd, and one is the address variable. Then this output of this function is stored in the variable that is known as the hdc. Then there is a next create pen. So create pen is a function that is the same function that is used to create a pen, but with different types like dash, dot, dash, dot. So these are the various types of pens that is available. So this is h pen, that is equals to create pen, that is create pen, then dash, then there is a 1 RGB. RGB means red, green, blue. Then there is a hold pen, this is also a variable. Then there is a select object that is used for selecting the object, and two arguments, two variables are used as a parameter, that is HTC and the H pen. So the HTC is same in each and every case what we have discussed, and then these are the two lines, that means dimensions where we want to display the types of pens, where we want to display the dash, dashboard, dash, dot. Then again this is the same line that is used to select the object first of all, and at last delete the object so that we can use the same variable to store the output of another variable, another function. So this H pen is deleted over here so that we are able to store new pen style within the H pen. So this is the next part that is used to create the dot, that is ps dot. This is known as macros. This is also a macro that is predefined, that we are only able to use that. This is also a macro, that is dot style pens are available. This is the next part for selecting the object, and these are the two lines. One is move to X, one is line 2. Then again select object function is used and delete object function is used. There is a H pen, that means again H pen variable is removed so that we can use the another function output and store the another function output within the H pen. Then next part is creating the pen using a dash dot. This is the dash dot. Then hold pen, select object, HDC, H pen, and this is the next part. These are again the same line, that is move to X and the line 2. Then again select object, that is a select object function, and delete object function for deleting the object, that is H pen again deleted. So Now this is the time for creating the pen with a dash dot. That is, there is a dash and there is a dot, there is a dash, there is a dot. Again, new variable, the same variable is used for creating a new style pen, that is ps dash dot dot. That means there is single dash and there are two dots. This is also a macro. Again, the same lines are used but with different dimensions. Look, this is 110, that is 110, this is 160. This is 500, this is 500, this is 110, this is 160. That means there is a gap of the 50 pixels between different lines. Then this is the same. Again, no, this is a different. Again, uses the H pen for creating a pen that is a solid pen. Now we have give the dimension over here. This is 10, this is 1. Why? Because we have to give the thickness of the pen. This is the thickness of the pen. Again the same line, again the same line. At last, end paint is used for ending the painting. So this is the begin paint at the starting. The same variables HWND and the ampersand PS, and this is the end paint, the same variables HWND and the PS. So after executing this program, this is the output. What we have discussed, this is the output. That is, first of all, there is a dash, then there is a dots, there is a dash dot, dash dot, dash dot, then there is a dash dot dot, dash dot dot, and there is a solid pen or solid line that is available over here, that is developed or that is built using the line 2. So this is the dash dot, dash dot, dash dot dot. This is a solid pen. This says a new pen can be created using the create pen API function. So the only difference is that every style is same, that is using the same function, that is a create pen, but the style is different, that is solid, dot, 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 dash dot. Then next topic that we have discussed is the types of brushes that is available over here. That is, what are the types of brushes that is available in Windows programming, that is available in C under Windows. So the way we can create different types of pens, we can also create different types of brushes. That is, there are multiple types of brushes that is available, like solid brush, hatch brush, pattern brush. There are three types of brushes. These are the three standard or the pattern brushes that is available. One is solid brush, hatch brush, and the pattern brush. So pens are generally used to draw the boundary of the shapes, and the brushes are used to fill the portion of the rectangle of any shape. Fill the portion means filling the color in the shapes like rectangle, polygon, any one of the shape. Then everything is the same, but the only difference is that on paint function is different, and the on paint function is used in this. These are the same variable declaration, that is HDC, paint struct, HBrush. This is again the same, that is the begin paint. The difference is that instead of using the create pen, we have used, or we are using create solid brush function. So this is the first function for creating a solid brush, and that is stored in the HBR. Then there is a select object, that is for selecting the object, and the output is stored in the hold BR. Then there is a rectangle to form a rectangle. Then these are the two functions that is used, that is the select object and the delete object. This is the next part that is used to create next brush, that is the hash brush, and the output is stored in the HBR. There is a select object and the output is stored in the hold BR. Then there is a rectangle. This is the rectangle that is filled in the rectangle. Then select object and delete object. These are the two functions that is used over here. Then HBMP load bitmap. This is the next part that is used for creating the pattern brush. This is the next part, that is some tricky part that we have discussed, that is how to create the pattern brush. That is done by using the load bitmap, that is done by using the HBMP. So this HBMP stores the output of the load bitmap function, and this is used as the argument of the create pattern brush function. Then there is a hold BR, select object, rectangle, again for filling the rectangle. There is a select object, delete object, delete object. That is, first of all select the object, that is HTC and the hold BR, then delete the object by using HBR and the HBMP. Then again the same function is used, that is the endpoint function. Then there is a delete object, that is HBR. So when we execute this program, the output is shown like this. These are the various types of brushes that is available. One is your first one is your solid brush, then there is a hash brush, and there is a pattern brush. So this is the solid brush, this is the hash brush, and this is the pattern brush. This says in the on-paint handler we have drawn 3 rectangles. First using a solid brush, second using a hash brush, and third using a pattern brush. And we simply make these brushes by using the create solid brush and the create hash brush function respectively. Then we have studied about theoretical part, that is how to create a pattern brush. That is, for creating a pattern brush, these are the various dimensions that is used over here. That is defined, and these are the various points that is available when we want to display the pattern brush, and the ID is defined in the resource.h. These are the various parameters, these are the various functions that is used when we want to create a pattern brush. That is load bitmap, init instance, Windows main, that is a win main, h instance, make intersource, load bitmap function, then create pattern brush function. So these are the various functions that is used in the when we want to display the pattern brush. Note that if the size of bitmap is bigger than the rectangle being drawn, then the bitmap is suitably clipped. That is, whenever the size of the bitmap that we are able to use in the pattern brush, if it is bigger or if it larger, then the rectangle is drawn, or the rectangle that is drawn is suitably clipped. That we have to clip, we have to cut the rectangle. Now this is the today's topic, that is the code and the resources. So in the last class we have discussed 2 topics, that is types of pens and the types of brushes. Now let's move to the next topic, that is code and resources. That is, what is the use of code and what is the use of resources. That is, what are the types of codes that is available and what are the types of resources that is available in the Windows programming. So this paragraph says a program consists of both instructions and static data. That is, whenever we talked about a program, any program, it may be a Windows program, it may be a simple DOS program. So a program consists of both the instructions and the data. That is, it can store instructions as well as the data. Static data is that portion. That is, we have to store the data. That is, a static data is that portion of the program which not executed or which is not executed as machine instructions and which does not change as the program executes. There is a static data, that means the data is constant, that data is not executed or not changed whenever we want to change the program executes. That is, whenever there is a change in the program execution or whenever there is any change in the variable, the program cannot change. That is, it cannot change, that is a static. So a program consists of both the instructions as well as the static data. Next point says static data are the character strings data to create fonts, bitmap, etc. That is, static data are nothing but the character strings that is available, that is a string of the characters, data to create the fonts, bitmap, etc. The designer of Windows wisely decided that static data should be handled separately from the program code. That is, in Windows programming, whosoever who designed the Windows programming decide that we have to use the static data or we have to involve the static data as a separate entity from the program code. The Windows term for static data is the resource data. That is, what is known as the static data in the Windows, that is known as the resource data or simply the resources. So one is the code, one is the resources. So any data that is available for the Windows, that is known as the resources. That is the static data. By separating static data from the program code, the creators of Windows were able to use a standard C++ compiler to create the code portion of the finished Windows program. That is, whenever there is a standard or whenever there is a separation of the code, or whenever there is a separation of the data, that is resources, and the program code, so it is easy to handle the code portion of the finished window program. And they only had to write a resource compiler to create the resources that Windows program uses. Then next point says separating the code from the resource data has other advantages. That is, whenever we have to separate the code from the resource data, that is there is a separate code and there is a separate static data, that is data variables are declared separately and the code is used separately. That has the more advantages, other advantages as well, like reducing the memory demands, making the programs more portable. It also means that a program or programmer can work on the program logic while a designer works on how the program looks. So this is the meaning, or this also means that a programmer can also work on a program logic while a designer work on how the program looks. This is the code and resources, that is the static data in the program, in the Windows program, known as the resources, and simply the data that is available, that is the data is, or the code is separated from the resources in the Windows programming. And then next point or the next topic is freehand drawing the paintbrush style. That is how to do the freehand drawing, that is a paintbrush style. Till now we have discussed about the types of pens, types of brushes. Now it is the time to discuss about the types of paintbrush that is used for the freehand drawing. This says even if you are knee high in computers, I am sure you must have used the paintbrush. That is, even though you are involving with the huge of computers, that is types of pens, types of brushes, but till now we are using the freehand drawing that is done by the paintbrush. That provides a feeling of the childhood, that is how to draw the images, how to draw the colors in the pictures, like bird, sparrow, pigeon, any bird. So we can also use, or I'm sure that you must have used the paintbrush. It provides a facility to draw a freehand drawing using mouse. So it provides a facility to draw a freehand drawing that is using the mouse. Let us see if we too can achieve this. So let us see if we are able to achieve this or not. We can indicate where the freehand drawing begins by clicking the left mouse button. So we can indicate, or we are able to show that freehand drawing begins whenever we click with the left mouse button, or when we click with the left mouse button or left button of the mouse. Then as we move the mouse on the table with the left mouse button, depress the freehand drawing should be drawn in the window. So it is used with the left hand drawing of the window that is available in the Windows. This drawing should continue till we do not release the left mouse button. So simply says, whenever we want to use the freehand drawing, simply drag the mouse or click the left mouse button and simply drag the mouse. Whatever the shape we want, we can continue with it by using the left mouse button. The next paragraph says the mouse input comes in the form of messages. That is, whenever we want to give the input, then we have to use the mouse input that comes in the three forms, or comes in the form of messages. For freehand drawing, we need to tackle three mouse messages. That is, and there are so many messages that is available with the use of the mouse. But whenever we use the freehand drawing, there are suitably, or they are technically, or they are using, or we need three mouse messages. What are the messages? That is WM L button down. So this is the message that is used for the left button click. Then WM mouse move, that is used for the mouse movement, and WM L button up, that is used for releasing the left mouse button. So this is using for left mouse click. Then next one is using for left mouse movement. Then next one is uses for left mouse button, that is releasing for the left mouse button. So up is used for releasing, and down is used for clicking, and move is used for movement. Let us now see how these messages are taken for drawing the freehand. That is how these messages are used for the freehand drawing. The Windows procedure function, that is the first function, that is a Windows procedure, that is the WND procedure functions, and the message handler that perform this task are given below. So there are four variables that is declared, that is how to use the window procedure, or how to use the different types of messages that is available in the Windows programming, like mouse button, the click, the mouse button, and then last one is the move down. This is the mouse move, that is for the mouse movement. So this is the program that shows how to move the mouse. So first of all, four variables are declared, that is x1, y1, x2, y2. So these are the four variables that is of integer type. Then there is a L result, callback, WND, proc. Again the same, only the function that is used is the result of the function that is done by using, or that is used by using the L result. This is L result, callback, WND, proc. That is a window procedure, and there are various arguments that is used in this. One is HWND, one is message, one is WParam, one is IParam. Then there is a curly braces, then there is a switch statement, that is a switch message. Then there is a semicolon, there is a, there is again the curly braces, that is a switch case is used that by denoting, by using with the message. Then curly braces will be opened. Then first case is WM destroy, that is first one is the destroying the messages, or destroying the message, or destroying the function, or destroying the object, that is a case WM destroy. Then in this a function is called that is known as the on destroy function. So first one is the case of the destroy, that is if it is a destroy, simply calls the function that is the on destroy function. Then there is a break statement. Then the next case is if it is a case of the L button down, that is a left button down. If it is a case, then simply uses the function that is the on a button down, that is the on left button down, that is on L button down. Whenever this is used, that is a button down, a new function is fired, a new function is calling, that is the L button down. And there are various arguments in this. And there is various argument in this, like HWND, low word and the high word. That has also argument, that is IParam and the IParam. Then there is a break for continuing into the next case. The next case is L button up. So this is L button, that is a left button down for clicking. This is the L button up, that is for releasing. There is a function that is calling, that is on L button up. This is the function that is called. There is no argument in this. This is the empty function. Then there is a break. Then next case is WM mouse move, that is used for the mouse movement. That is the next part. That is the next part of the next case of the switch, that is destroy, L button down, L button up, and the move, mouse move, that is used for the mouse movement. That is again using by calling the function that is known as the on mouse move, and there are various arguments like WParam, HWND, low word, high word. And there is a break statement after this. Then if it is not case of the destroy, it is not case of the left mouse button pressing, if it is not case of the left button releasing, if it is not case of the mouse movement, then it is a case of the default window procedure, that is calling the function that is a default window procedure. Again the same arguments, that is HWND, message, WParam, IParam. This is the switch case, this is the curly brace opening, this is the closing. So this curly braces are the These curly braces are the cases or this is the part of the switch case, and then there is a return 0, then there is a closing curly braces. This closing curly braces is for this opening curly brace. Now this is the definition of the function that is used, the onDestroy function that we have already discussed. Now the next is your on L button down, that is whenever we click with the left mouse button, that is the on L button down, and there are various arguments in this like hwnd, int x, int y. This is the curly braces that is used. Then there is a set capture. Set capture is a function that is used. Then there is a hwnd, this is the hwnd. There is a hwnd, and there are two more variables, that is x and the y, and both are of integer type, that is the x and the y variables. Then there is a next function that is called, that is a set capture function. Set capture function is the another function, and that has argument, that is hwnd. The next variable is that is using is the x1, that is x is stored in the x1, that is x output or the x value is assigned to the x1. In the same way, y value is assigned to the y1. So these are the two values, and this is the closing of the this function, that is the on left button down. This is the closing of this. That means this is the definition of this function. In this we have used the function that is a set capture function, and we have initialized the value of x into the x1 and the y into the y1. Then the next function definition is of void on mouse move. That is the next function, that is on mouse move. And there are various arguments, that is hwnd, int flags, int x, int y. And this is the variable that is used, that is the hdc. Now check the condition if flags equals to mk L button, that is if the flag is equals to mk L button, that is the left mouse button depressed, that is it is checked whether it is pressing the left mouse button or not. It is if flag equals to mk L button, then if it is the case, that is if the button is pressed, then htc equals to getC hwnd. Then the function that is used is the getDC, that is the device context, and the argument that is used is the hwnd, and the output of this function is stored in the hdc. Then next one is your x value is assigned into the x2 and the y value is assigned into the y2. Then uses the two lines, that is the same two lines, that is the move to x. There are various arguments like htc x1 y1 null, and again the line 2 function is used, that has argument, that is the htc x2 y2. Then there is a release of the DC, that is the next function, that is releasing of the DC by taking two arguments, that is the hwnd and the htc. In this we have to initialize the value of x1 into the x2 into the x1 and y2 into the y1. So this is when we click, or when we use when the button is moved or the mouse is moved. So this is the definition of the on mouse move, that is how the mouse will be moved by using the left mouse button or by using the right mouse button. Then there is a next function that is available, that is a L button up, that is releasing the left mouse button. So one is pressing the or clicking the left mouse button, one is for the mouse movement, and one is for the releasing the left mouse button. That is on left button, on L button up. Then there is a function that is used, that is a release capture. That is a release capture means releasing the content or releasing the variable, that is, or releasing the content or the values of the variable that is stored in the memory. That is done by the release capture. So whenever we execute this program, the window shown in figure 18.5 appears. That is, whenever we execute this program, the window that is appeared like this one. We can now click the left mouse button with mouse pointer placed anywhere in the window. We can then drag onto the table to do the freehand. That is, we can do any operation like L button mouse, L release left mouse button, click left mouse button, and the mouse movement. The freehand drawing would continue till we do not release the left mouse button. So this is the example. This is the example of how to use the freehand drawing. So this is the freehand drawing. Simply using this one, go to this one, go to this one. Then this is the arrow. Then there is this one. This is the freehand drawing that we can use any mouse option, that is the mouse movement, L mouse click, and that is the L mouse press, and the L mouse up. It appears that for drawing the freehand, we should simply receive the mouse coordinates as it is moved and then highlight the pixel at these coordinates using the setPixel API function. So the setPixel API function is used to highlight the pixels at these coordinates, at these variables. However, if we do so, the freehand would be broken at several places. That is, whenever we use freehand drawing, it will disconnect, it will be broke at various points. This is because usually the mouse is dragged pretty fast, whereas the mouse messages won't arrive so fast. That is, the mouse drags very fast in a very tiny speed of time, and the mouse messages won't arrive so fast. A solution of this problem is to construct the freehand using small letter line argument. That is, the solution of this one is to construct the freehand drawing using the small letter time the line segments, that is x1 coordinate, x2 coordinate, x3 coordinates. These are the various line segment. This is what has been done in our program. These lines are so small in size that you would not recognize that the freehand drawing have been drawn by connecting these small lines. That is, whenever there is a freehand drawing, there is a chance of the broken lines. So uses the freehand drawing or uses the API function, that is a setPixel, you can use the freehand drawing using the small letter line segments, that is using the small letter line segments. So this is the example of freehand drawing, that is how to use the freehand drawing with the within the Windows programming. Let us now discuss each mouse handler. That is, let us now discuss what is the use of each mouse function, that is each mouse handler. The first one is your WM L button down, that is used for the clicking with the left mouse button. When the left mouse button message arrives, the window procedure, that is the WND-proc function, calls the handler, that is the on left mouse button down. So whenever there is a message that arrives, that is a WM underscore left mouse button down. So suddenly the message or the window procedure, that is a WND procedure, calls the handler, that is the on left mouse button function. While doing so, we have passed the mouse coordinate where the click occurred. That is, we have passed the mouse coordinate where the click occurred. These coordinates are obtained in the iparam in the Windows procedure. So these coordinates are available or obtained in the iparam. In iparam, the low order 16 bits contain the current x coordinate of the mouse, whereas the high order 16 bit contains the y coordinates. So iparam is available, or in iparam the low order bits are available that contains the 16 bits that contains x coordinates and the 16 bit that contains the y coordinate. The low word and the high word macros have been used to separate out these x and the y coordinates from the iparam. These two words or these two keywords are used, or macros are used to separate the x and the y coordinates from the iparam. Then in the next line it is saying in OL in the on not OL in the left mouse button down, we have preserved the starting point of the freehand global variable. That is, we have used or we have covered or we have initialized the values of variable to the global variable, that is the x and the x1 and the y1. So these are the global variables like x1, y1, x2, y2, and the out and the values of the x and the y is stored into the x1 and the y1. Then next paragraph says when we use the mouse move button. So one is the left button down, one is the on mouse move. Gets called, it checks whether the left mouse button stand depressed. So whenever there is a function that is used is the mouse move, so it check for the condition, it check whether the left mouse button stand or it is depressed or it is pressed or not. If it is stands, that is if it is available for the depressed, then the flags variable contains mkl button. That is the flag that is variable or the flags variables are used or contains the mkl button. Mkl button is also a macro that is used in this one. So one is wml button down, one is mkl button. That is a mouse click left button. If it does so, then the current mouse coordinates are set up in the global variable. So whenever there is a pressing or whenever there is a press of the left mouse, then the coordinates of the x and the y are transferred to the global variables, that is the x1 and the y2. Sorry, x2 and the y2. A line is then drawn between x1 y1 and the x2 y2 using the functions. Now x1 y1 we have got by using the on left mouse button down, and the x2 y2 we have got. Hello. Now it's audible to you. Hello. Hello. Now it's audible to you. Hello. Okay. Okay. So where we were, so whenever there is a on left mouse button, the output or the values are stored in the variable global variable, that is the x1 and the y1, and whenever there is a on mouse move button, that is for movement, it uses the x2 and the y2, that is stored in the x2 and the y2. Then a line is drawn between the by using the coordinates, that is the x1 y1 and the x2 y2 using the functions, that is move to x and the line to function. Next time x2 y2 should become or the starting of the next line. Hence the current value of x2 y2 are stored in the x1 y1. Therefore at the end there is the x2 y2, that is value that is stored in the x1 and the y1. Next paragraph says, note that here we have obtained the DC handle, that is we have obtained the device context handle using the API function that is done by the getC function. So this getDC function is used whenever we have to handle the DC. This is the API function that is used whenever we want to mouse to be moved, that is either with the x coordinate, either with the y coordinate, either with the xy coordinate, or both the x and y coordinates. Then this is because we are carrying out the drawing activity in reaction to a message other than the WM paint function. Also, the handle obtained using getDC should be released using a call to the releaseDC function. So whenever we want to obtain the DC handle, whenever we want to handle the DC, that is done by the get DC function, API function, and whenever we want to release the DC, that is done by the release DC function. Then you can try using begin paint, end paint in mouse handler and get DC, release DC in the on paint function. That is, you can also try using the begin paint and the end paint in the mouse handler and the get DC, release DC function in the on paint function. Next is capturing the mouse, that is how to capture the mouse. So if it is in the process of drawing the freehand that we have covered, that is whenever we draw the freehand drawing, the mouse cursor goes outside the client area. So whenever we are drawing with the freehand, the mouse cursor sometimes goes outside the client area, that is outside the boundary, outside the rectangle. Then the window below our window, that is a window below our window, that is what is where we are writing, that is a window, and below that window, that is where we are writing, would start getting mouse messages. So would start getting the mouse messages that is available in this one. That is whenever there is a freehand drawing, and whenever by mistakenly or anyways my drawing moves to the next part, that is beyond the client area, that moves to the next window, that is the below window. So our window will not retrieve any messages. So it moves to the next part, it moves to the next window. So our window, that is our main window, cannot or is not able to retrieve each and every messages. If this has to be avoided, then we should ensure that our window continue to receive mouse messages even when the cursor goes out of the client. That is, if this is the case, then we should make sure that our window get messages even though my image or my drawing goes beyond the client area. If it is so, then we can also use that even though mouse, when the cursor goes out of the client area of our window. The process of this is known as the mouse capturing. So whenever we want that the mouse be captured or mouse is captured, that process is known as this process of doing so, that is outside the client area, drawing is going outside the client area, that is known as the mouse capturing. So mouse capturing is nothing but whenever we want to recover or whenever we want to show that every messages comes in my own window, not go to another window, even though my drawing, that is my freehand drawing, goes out of the client area, goes to another window, even though my window receives each and every messages. That process is known as the mouse capturing. So we have captured the mouse in OL mouse button function by calling a function that is a set capture function. So whenever we use the left mouse button down, that is the left mouse button click, so we have used the function. So we are able to use the function by using the API handler that is known as the set capture function. So this set capture is used for using the mouse that is able to capture, that is a handler for the API function. Then as a result, the program continues to respond to the mouse events during freehand drawing even if the mouse is moved outside the client area. As I told you, even though the mouse is moved outside the client area, then only it's okay. Otherwise the set capture function is used, so the messages can be received even though the cursor is going beyond the mouse area. In the on left mouse up, that is for releasing the left mouse button, we have released the captured mouse by calling the release capture API function. So these are the two functions that is available over here, that is used for drawing the messages, that is used for using the messages. So these are the two functions that is used to make sure that our messages comes in my window, not going to the another windows. Next part is device context, a closer look. That is the next part. That is what is DC, and a closer look is given to the device context. And this is one of the important topic, that is a device context. This is a diagrammatical representation how DC will be used in the programming. So this topic I will be taken in the next class. So let's take a break right now and then move to the practical approach. Today I'm going to start with the practical approach of the arrays. So first of all, let's take a break and then move to the practical part. So now let's start with the session. Let's start with the session. So come back from the break. So let's start with the practical approach of the arrays. That is how we are using the arrays. In the last class we have discussed about the practical approach of the do while. That is how or what is the use of do while. The main difference of do while and the while loop is that in while loop the statement is executing only when the condition is true. But in case of do while, the statement is executed at least one even though the condition is false. That is, in do while it is executed at least one times in case of any condition, but in while loop it cannot execute at least in the one time when the condition is false. And another difference is that do while is the exit control loop. Why it is known as exit control loop? Because the condition is checked at the time of exiting the program, and while is the entry control loop. In this the condition is checked at the time of entering the program, right? So today I'm going to start with the next practical approach, that is arrays. So let's start with the practical approach. What is the usage of array and why we are using the arrays in this one? So suppose, for example, basic program that is simply used to denote or simply used to store the arrays elements. So whenever we want to declare any array, we have to use the square brackets. So first of all, there is the same header files. Then there is a void main. Then there is a curly braces. Then this is the array declaration. We have to declare the array like this one. That means array contains three values and the array name is a. And suppose I have given the values and I have taken or I have tried it by using 1, 2, 3, 5, and this will be closed like this one. Now if there is a clear screen, this is just a basic program, and if I have to printf the values of a, now let's see how this will be printed. Now if I execute this code, there is a success. If I compile this code, -20, that gives a garbage value. Why? Because we have used the a, but we have not used that how many variables are stored in a. So I have to use the I over here, right? And for this one I have to use the looping. So if there is an error, that is an undefined symbol I, so we have not defined the symbol I. If I have defined the symbol I over here, now let's see 0. Why 0? Because that is a 0 value. Now for this I have to use the while for loop or the while loop. That is, for I equals to 0, I is less than equals to 5, or I have to start with the 1, that's 5, but I start with the 0 because it is the array. It is going to the 4, then there is a I plus plus. Now if I execute this code, the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the simple program of the array that is showing how the use or what is the usage of array. Now if I compile this code, this is the output, that is 1 2 3 4 5. Right. Now this program is clear to you. We have declared the we have defined the header file, that is stdi.h and the conio.h, and there is a void main function. Then there is a int I a5 1 2 3 4 5. There are 5 numbers in this. Then there is a clear screen. Then there are for loop that is using the start with the 0 ending with the 4 that contains 5 values, and there is a printf statement that is able to store, or that is going to store the 5 values, that is from 0 to the 4, that is from 0 to 5. हेलो, हाँ जी, जो एक चीज रह गई थी, गलीचे आपने बोले थे उसको। हाँ हाँ, वो मैट लगवा देना, और 2 दरी और चाहिए थी। हाँ, लाल वाली दरी होती है ना, 2 दरी और चाहिए। हाँ जी, वही वाले, क्योंकि कीर्तन वगैरह करवाना तो वही यूज हो जाएंगे। ठीक है, फिर दरी की जरूरत नहीं है ना, मतलब। ठीक है, फिर वही भिजवा देना। ओके। हाँ, कवर करवाना है। हाँ जी, ठीक है। So this array will be we will save the file with the name of the array. Hello, hello. Yeah, this program is clear to you? Okay. Now, if I change the value to 6 over here, so what is the output over here? If I compile this code, this will show only 5. Why? Because we have given the values as a yes. You are not able to see the screen. Okay. If I give the dimension, this is known as dimension. If I give the dimension as a 4, then what is the error? Now there is error, too many initializers. That is, we have declared only 4 over here, and but we have given the values as a 5 over here. So this gives, or this gives the error as a there are too many arguments, there are too many initializers. So this means that we have to maximize the value up to 7 6, but we have given the value in a small quantity. That means it is up to the small quantity. So if it is 5, it is these are the 5 value. Now if I give the values in a bracket like this one or this bracket, this will never works. This will never works. If I compile this code, there is an error. What is the error? Expression syntax. What is the error? We have to use the curly braces over here. Alright, this program is clear. Now if I use, or if I start with the I equals to 1, and if I use this equals to 5, now let's see what is the output. There is a 2 3 4 5 0. Why? Because as I told you, array starts with the 0, so it is using only 1. That means it is using this one, then 2, then 3, then 4. That means 4 value will be printed, and at last 0 will be printed. So for in array case, we have to give it in a 0 form. We have to start with the 0. That is like this one, 0 to 4. That means 5 value. That output is 1 2 3 4 5. Now this program is clear to each and everyone. Hello, hello. Oh, okay. So we have to give the command. We have to give the name. Write a program to. Now I have to use next one. I have to define next one. That is, first of all, the header files will be including, that is hash includes stdir.h, then hash includes conio.h, then there is a void main, then there is a curly braces. This means this part is same in each and every case. Now let's say example, I'm going to print the byte that is reserved for the data type. That is, if I'm using int I 10, that means it takes 20 bytes. Why? Because every byte, every character takes 2 bytes. So this is not 1, this is I. Then next part is char. For example, this is also a C and the dimension is 10. Then there is a long, or there is a float. For example, if I have to take the float, that is F, then also the 10. Then simple clear the screen, then uses the printf for printing purpose. That is, the byte or int requires dash number of bytes. That is, int requires how many number of bytes, that is done by the size of. So this says slash n percentage d memory location is reserved, and then closes this one, then uses size of, then uses I. Right. In the same way, we have to use again the printf line, the same line. So we have to copy paste it. Then simply paste this thing. Again in the next line I have to paste. So this will be like this one. This is percentage %d, this is percentage %c, this is percentage %f. No, these are in percentage %d only. Why? Because this is in the integer only. And now this is c, this is f, these are the same, percentage %d. Now there is a closing of the curly braces, that is done by this one. This is the output. This is the closing. Now if I compile this code, there is a success. If I execute this code, 20 bytes is reserved, 10 bytes is reserved, 40 bytes is reserved. In this we have to write for int, for char, for float. This is the case. 20 bytes is reserved, or 20 bytes or the memory location is reserved for this one, or simply says 20 bytes. This is not correct. So this is the correct output. 20 bytes is reserved for the int, 20 bytes is 10 bytes is reserved for the char, and 40 bytes is reserved for the float. Why this occurs? Let's see. This is the integer takes how many bytes? 2 bytes. So there are 10 values. So 10 into 2, 20. So that's why int takes how many bytes in the memory? I takes how many bytes in the memory? 20 bytes. And char takes how many bytes? That takes only 1 byte. So there are 10 values. So char takes how many bytes? There are 10 bytes. And float takes 4 bytes. So how many bytes are reserved for the float? That contains 10 values. 10 into 4, 40. So this gives the output 40. So that's why the output looks like this one. 20, 10, 40. Like this. This program is clear to you, everyone? So the main thing is that this size of operator is used for calculating the size of the data type. So whenever we use any data type and whenever we have to calculate the size of the data type, that is done by using the size of operator. So this is the size of operator. Now this program is clear to each and everyone? Hello? Okay, okay, thank you. Now if I change this program of simply using the same 3 lines are copied first of all. Now if I paste over here all the lines, and for this one I have to use only int, here I have to use only char, here I have to use only float, and this is for int, this is not used. This is deleted. In the same way this is deleted. In the same way this is deleted. Now if I compile this code, what is the output? That takes 20 bytes is reserved for the integer. Why 20 bytes? Because there are 10 values, so 10 into 2, 20. Then char takes 10 bytes. Why 10? Because 10 into 1 is 10. Then float takes 40. Why 40? Because 10 into 4 is 40. And at last 2 is used for the int, and 1 is used for the char, and 1 is used for the float. So this is the size of operator. Again this is used for only the integer value. In this we have declared we have defined the I. So it takes the value as a I. In this we have only used the int. That gives only the only the values of the int. That is size of int, size of char, size of float. So these are the various dimensions of the program. That is whenever we have to calculate the data type or calculate the values or calculate the variable that is stored by the values, that is I, C and F, that is used for calculating the number of bytes, then we use the variables. And if we want to calculate the bytes that is reserved for the data type directly, that is int, char, float, that is done by simply writing the name of the data type in the size of operator. So this size of is the operator that gives the bytes that reserved for the data types. So this is also clear to each and everyone? Okay, okay. So I have saved this file with the size of. There is already built this file, that is the size of. So this is array size of. This is array size of, right? Now let's move to the next program. Again the same header files are used. Again conio.h is used. Then there is a void main. Now Let's say example, I want to display the character addresses. That is, I want to display the string along with their address. For example, yeah, along with their address in the memory. So this is the program that shows, write a program write a program to display the character array along with their address. Right. So this is the program that is used to display the character array, that means string, that is set of characters along with their addresses in the memory. That is how many bytes is reserved for the memory. So first of all, we have to define the character array. For example, I have defined as a 10, so that the maximum value arrives. That gives the value in curly braces. For example, A. Then again, this single code is used for the array declaration. Mind it. So this is array is declared, and we have also declared one variable as I equals to 0, so that it will be used in a looping. Then there is a CLR SCR for clearing the screen. Then we have to declare the variable that is declared. Then simply printf the memory location of this one, that is the character and the memory location for printing the values or printing in the correct line, that is using the printf. For example, I have to give in the this one, that is a character, and then there is a memory location. Then again uses the slash n for moving into the next line. Then uses the while loop. This is the next part. This is the most important part, that is using the while loop, then using the variable as a name, then this as a I, that is equals to null. That is, this will execute when it is not equals to null. It is not equals to, this is the not equals to sign. And what is the sign of null? Simple uses the single quote, then uses the backslash, then uses the 0. This is the null, right? Then check for the condition. Simply uses the printf, that is printf, and now again uses the slash n. Now again uses the percentage %c, then there is a tab, then there is a percentage %u. That is, there is a percentage %c over here. Look carefully, this is important part. Percentage %c, then there is a tab, then there is a percentage %u again in this bracket, because it is for unsigned, that is for this one. Then declare the this one, that is the memory and the addresses, that is given as a name I ampersand name I, then closes this one, then there is a I plus plus, then this is the closing of this one. And now let's see, get ch, Now this is will be closed. Now if I compile this code, there is a success. If I execute this code, this will print like this one. First of all, there is a character, then there is a memory location. So this will not look like a good one, so I have to use two tabs over here. If I compile this code, this will looks in a proper manner. That is, one is character, one is the memory location. Character is the A, and the memory location that is reserved in the memory is 65516, and next one is your R, and the memory location is 65517. Then again there is a R 65518. Why there is a gap of 1 byte? Because char takes only 1 byte in the memory. Then again there is a, then 65519. Then again there is a Y, then 65520. So these are the different array and their memory location that is available in the memory. Now let's see what is a program. So this is a program that simply used to display the character array, that is used to display the character array like A, R, R, A, Y along with their addresses, that is along with their addresses that is available in the character array. So first of all, two header files are declared. One is hash include stdi.h, one is hash include connew.h. So these are the two header files that is available. Then there is a void main, that is a main function, that is the first function that is used, that is the void main. Then there is a curly braces that start, and then there is a character array that is declared, that is a char name 10. So this takes, or char takes 10 bytes in the memory. Why? Because each byte or each array integer, each character value contains only 1 byte in the memory. So we have to declare this in the beginning by using the variable that is name 10 equals to array. That is, this is the string that contains 5 characters, that is A, R, R, A, Y. Then the next variable that is used is the I, that is int I equals to 0, that is in integer type, that is of integer type, that is int I equals to 0. Then there is a clear screen for clearing the screen, that is CLR, SCR. Then there is a printf statement for printing purpose, that is simply use print in the beginning, that is in the top, that is a character and the character and the memory location. So this is the first point, and there is a gap, there is a memory location. If I give in the /t, now let's see what is the impact. This is like this one. So this is used for the printing purpose like character, and there is a tab. Tab means there is a gap, then there is a memory location. This is used for the next line. This is again used for the next line. Then uses the while loop. So this will work till it becomes null. So this is name I is not equals to null. So it works till the name I is not equals to null. So there is a name I. So first of all, it takes the value as a 0, then takes the value as a 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7. So when it becomes null, it will stop execution, and whenever it becomes null, it will stop the execution. So this is used as a while loop, that is name I not equals to. This is the sign of the not equals to, and this is the sign of the null. This is known as the null. When we talk about the string, remember what I told you, the strings are always terminated by the null in the array. So whenever there is an array, the string is terminated by the null. Then there is a printf, then there is a %c, %t, %t. Two tabs are used, then there is a %u. Then there is a name I, and there is a ampersand name I. So first of all, there is a name I that is used for the character display, and there is a ampersand name I that is used for the address. This ampersand is used for the address, and what is the specifier that is used? In this, the specifier that is used is a %u, and for name I, the specifier that is used is a %c. So these are the two specifiers that is used over here. One is %c and one is %u. So percentage C is used for displaying simply the character on the screen, and percentage U is used for displaying the memory or the address on the screen. That is done by the ampersand name I. So this is the while loop that is continued till it becomes null, and there is a I plus plus. Every time I will be incremented by the 1. That is done by, or that is used to store the I plus plus. Then this is the block for the while loop. This is the part of the while loop only, and then there is a get ch. Right. Now let's dry run this program. Now dry run means let's take a step by step of this program, that how it works. That is a step by step execution. First of all, there is a char name 10. That means it contains 10 values. We already defined the values as a r r a y, that is the array. Then I equals to 0, that is also a variable declaration, that is we have initialized with the I variable as 0. Now let's see with the looping. First of all, this is while name 0 is not equals to null. It check for the name 0. Name 0 is a, it is not equals to null, then simply it prints the this line. Right. Then there is the I plus plus. It will become name 1. Name 1 is r. It is not equals to 0. Condition is true. Simply printf this line. That is prints the r and prints the memory location for r. Again I plus plus. Now this becomes 2. Name 2 is again r. This is not equals to 0. Condition is true. Simply printf with the this line. Again I plus plus. Now name I is name 3. That is this one. That is a. This is not equals to null. Condition is true. Simply printf this line. That is a will be printed along with their address. Then again I plus plus. Now I becomes 4. That is name 4. That is not equals to 0, or that is not equals to null. Condition is true. Again go to this part. The y will be printed along with their address. Then there is a I plus plus. Now this I becomes 5. Whenever there is a name 5, there is no output for the, or there is no input for the name 5. Why? Because it starts with the 0, it ends with the 4. So this is 0 location, 1, 2, 0 location, 1 location, 2 location, 3 location, 4th location. There is no location, or there is no array for the 5th location. So whenever it reaches to the 5, this is not equals to null. Condition is not true. It is equals to null. Why it is equals to null? Because there is no character in the array. We have defined only 5 characters, so there is no character in the array. So this loop will terminate and only 5 character will be printed, that is a r r a y. Now if I compile this code, there is no error, there is a success. If I execute this code, first of all, the a, that has the address 65516. This is the by default address that is taken by the computer. Then again there is a r, there is again the address 65517, then again r 65518, again a 65519, again y 65520. So these are the various characters and their memory location. So this is the program that is only used to display the character array. This program is clear to all of you? Okay. Now I have saved this file that is known as the character array. Now so that's all for today's session, and let's stop the practical approach over here. Then let's move to the next session, that is a device context, in the next class, that is in the tomorrow's class. So now if you have any doubts, then please text the doubt and I will answer you. And this chapter I will finish most probably by tomorrow, because tomorrow is the weekend, or the last day of the weekday, that is the coming weekend. So I want to try this chapter to be finished in the next class. So let's see If this is finished, then it's okay, otherwise no issues. And if there is any doubt, then please text the doubt and I will answer you. And for Larry, your doubt VC++, I have downloaded the VC++. There is no problem in downloading the VC++. There are steps available. There are various steps available, that is for VC++. I will share these steps via the email. And the next part is the slides of the computer system. I will compile it and I will zip that file and I will mail you positively latest by tomorrow. Positively. Because I have no time, because there are so many classes in my hand, so I forgot each and everything. Understand my point of view also. So I compile all these slides and then make into the zip file, that is the shortest file, and then mail to you and you are all awesome positively by tomorrow. Otherwise you can remind me by via email in the morning tomorrow, that is in the morning as per the IST. I will give you no issues. So that's all for today's session. In the next class I will be starting the next topic, that is the device context. Alright everyone, bye bye.